arguably more interesting than what the headlines are grabbing, as far as what Lupe said with Drake is a better rapper and Kendrick's a good performer but not as good a lyricist, is the rappers that he mentions that he listens to. He mentions that he listens to people like A$AP Rock, Homeboy Sandman, MF Doom, Idea, Sadistic, Cavalier. Basically, at no point does he mention anyone in the mainstream. And he definitely doesn't mention anyone in the big three. And that's because Lupe listens to rap. Like, these are people who rap their asses off. They have multiple meanings to the lyrics. They're super metaphorical. There's double, triple, quadruple entendres. Basically stuff that will constantly go over people's heads and don't have mainstream appeal. And that's fine that you don't want to listen to it. But when you look at these other rappers, like, you have to admit that there are obviously better rappers than anyone in the big three and just in the mainstream at the moment. Now, that is one of the big things that he was mentioning throughout the Twitter space that he had with Aye Verb, or he popped in with. And over the course of like the hour and a half that he was in there, obviously the thing that everyone's going to grab on is the Drake bit, but he talks about how he himself is a better rapper than damn near anyone in the mainstream. And I think that's a fair assessment. Like, I don't think anyone can come at Lupe and just expect to not get lyrics thrown at him. Like, the way that Lupe responds to people, the way that Lupe raps is just on a completely different level. And sure, he might not have the same mainstream appeal as he once used to because, you know, he's making more super lyrical raps, but the argument is still there. Like, he's still a well-known and well-respected artist. And through that whole discussion that he had with Aye Verb, he was even trying to be like, oh no, I'm going to step into the battle realm. Like, that sort of vibe. Like, he's not concerned about a lot of people in the battle rap. Like, he's, you know, there's a couple of people, I'm sure, but he feels like he can definitely hold his own. And I think that'd be interesting to see. Now, with all that, he also goes on to mention that, you know, Kendrick, J. Cole, Drake, and them, I mean, he just kind of alluded to the other two, mostly Kendrick. Like, he's not even the top 100, essentially. Like, there are so many other rappers out there that are better than all of them. And he also mentions that URL has some of the best rappers in the world. Like, some of the best rappers in the world are in URL, being the rap league. Like, these are just super lyrical rappers who have just an insane knowledge and understanding of how to make words work for them. And that is crazy. Now, I am not as well versed in battle rap as I probably want to be, but I do have like this crazy respect for them because this is a completely different realm for me. Like, I can't even begin to understand like what goes into that process. It's insane. And, you know, I think a lot of other people don't necessarily get that either. With all that said though, this whole, I'm the like big three is like, this person's better, this person's better. At the end of the day, yes, we are arguing between these three people, but you also have to understand that there are definitely better rappers out there. I think it kind of goes back to the assessment of what the big three entails, you know, like what parts are they looking at? Like, yeah, sure, they're looking at lyrics, they're looking at songwriting ability, and then they're probably also looking at sales. So with all those three included, battle rap and super lyrical rappers probably won't be there. I mean, I've said it many times, and I think Lupe even mentioned it here too, that a lot of lyricists and battle rappers, like, they can't translate well into the mainstream because of the songwriting ability and sales. The sales kind of come from the raps and the songwriting ability, I feel. But, you know, there's that barrier, right? Like, they can't break through it because of the songwriting. But that's what Lupe has. Lupe has made hits. He makes songs that have pretty wide appeal, I feel. That might not be what he wants to do now because, you know, that he just wants to make raps. But yeah, he's on a different level entirely. Now, the other thing that was mentioned in this was kind of what he said at Coachella, where he essentially said that he will battle any rapper that comes his way. And a lot of people took that as a reason for Kendrick to come at him. Like, he's looking for smoke. But I don't think it's necessarily just Kendrick. He's just saying like, I will, like, if anyone comes to me, I will fire back. And we've seen this. We saw that with Royce most recently. Like, Lupe responded to Royce within hours, and it was honestly one of the hardest tracks for me to break down because it was so dense. And I mean, Lupe has always been this way. Like, Lupe has just super deep raps and just stuff that's hard to understand and break down. But, you know, that's part of the fun of it, right? Like, whenever I do a breakdown track, the Lupe ones are the ones that I'm most excited for because I mean, I know I'm going to miss things, and I know people in the comments are going to actually be like, oh shit, like this is actually what it was, or like this could be what it means. Like, it's different. Like, it's so bizarre. Like, with people who like this more lyrical rap, generally y'all are nicer. Like, you have more like, yes, let's build community, let's talk about the raps. Whereas everyone else in the mainstream just says, fuck you, you're wrong. Anyways, I just wanted to bring light to the other stuff that Lupe said because, yes, the headlines and what he said about Drake and Kendrick, but there is more to it than just that. There are a lot of better rappers out there. Lupe is one of them. Kendrick, Cole, Drake, they have popularity currently, and it is just a popularity contest to some degree, but as far as raps go, they're okay. They got bars every so often. But that's all I've got. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about what Lupe has to say and how Lupe may react. I know a lot of people may say that Lupe is a hater. Sure, I believe it. He doesn't want to hate. Like, he has respect for Kendrick, but say what you will. But yeah, also, while you're down there, like and subscribe to see more rambling and content like this. Thank you for watching, and please stay safe out there.